Hello YouTube, this is Dave Murray Rocks coming with a new series in my channel called album reviews. And this week I'm gonna be reviewing Metallica's Death Magnetic. Death Magnetic is a return to Metallica. Even though a lot of people hated this album, a lot of people loved it. It's a triumphant return for the Bay Area thrashers. It may not be as good, in my opinion. It may not be as good as some of the other releases that thrash artists had, like Endgame or World Painted Blood, which all follow this formula that Metallica started first, which is going back to the older days. Like Endgame is really reminiscent of So Far So Good So What, and World Painted Blood sounds, they went back to the older sound, like Raining Blood and Kissing in the Abyss and stuff. Metallica started this route by going back to their Master of Puppets days, which Lars claims that what happened was that they were doing some tours in Europe and they were playing Master of Puppets front to back, and they got inspired to write music. And that's how Death Magnetic was born. Death Magnetic is great. Saint Anger is a piece of shit. I hated Saint Anger. What happened? And when a band hits that low, it's really hard to come back, and it's really hard to buy. For me to buy an album if your last album was complete shit. But Metallica really outdone themselves with Death Magnetic, and it's an amazing album. It's great, fast riffs, catchy riffs. I will say this though, drumming is not that great because Lars, I never thought he was one of the best drummers. In my opinion, this is my opinion personally, he's the worst drummer out of all the thrash bands out there. But that's my opinion. First track, That Was Just Your Life. Oh, you're listening to it now. Great track. It sticks in your head. Fast, catchy chorus. That was just your life. You'll think that in your head. It gets stuck in your brain. Great solo by Kirk, because they didn't use Kirk in Saint Anger. I felt like they didn't use him at all. And Kirk is one of those guitarists that are good, not the best, but they're average, and they're good. I'm gonna get a Dave Mustaine quote. But a lot of people are gonna write hate comments for this because Megadeth and Metallica, but I love both of them. So, but Dave said Kirk uses all the time. Kirk uses all the time he has, and I'm not sure if that's an insult or I'm pretty sure that's an insult, but he has a lot of talent and he uses it in this album. The End of the Line, great track, not a really good track, actually. It's a standard track, really, catchy though, but nothing new. There's nothing new about this track. Great solos, great everything, but it's not the greatest song in this album. What Can Be Discarded? Now, this is a great song. Out of everybody who had this album said this was their favorite, not mine. This was not my favorite, but a lot of people said this was their favorite, and it's a great song. It breaks a lot. It breaks into parts, and it's just good stuff. But excuse me, a little burp. It's a great song, and I think what they were thinking with this song is live performance, because this song shines live. If you haven't seen it live, it's killer. Go YouTube, find it. It's killer. This song is killer live. The Day That Never Comes. The Day That Never Comes is great. It's a lot. It has a lot of reminiscence to One. Like, it starts off clean, then you go like the middle clean, and then it gets angry, and then it's really powerful. Fast, great solo by Kirk. Kirk has a great solo in this song. Like in this one, in this song too, but Kirk has a great solo, brings back what he used to do back in the Kill 'Em All days and everything. And another comparison to one is that it's also a war song. So yeah. All night long, killer track. It's fast. It's heavy. Everything like it's Metallica. It's classic Metallica. It's, in my opinion, that it's best because I really love this track. This song is like about some author, I don't know his name, but they about like monsters coming out or like a failed experiment that what happened, and the video is really creepy actually. If you ever see the music video for this song, it's really creepy and it's like one of those things you have to see, but it's kind of creepy. But other than that, it's great track, great song. Cyanide. I didn't like Cyanide. It was a good song. I didn't like Cyanide that much, but I didn't like it that much until my friends were like, you gotta listen to this song. And the little drum solo thing that Lars is doing and Rob is kind of playing the bass in it, it's really catchy. Like, it has a nice beat. It's really catchy to it. Great solo, great break. Now, the next song, The Unforgiven 3. The Unforgiven 3, complete shit. I hated this. This was really bad, and especially when I had high expectations for it. Because I love The Unforgiven 1. The Unforgiven 2 was okay, because it was the same as The Unforgiven 1. But, different lyrics. But then, Unforgiven 3 was awful. James' vocals were awful in it. The guitar was really bad. Even though the guitar solo was really good, everything else was bad. It didn't work. I feel like they should have put this song in Saint Anger and it would have been better. Honestly. Then, Judas Kiss. The Judas Kiss is my favorite track from this album. I love the catchiness. I love that it's fast. It's amazing. It's amazing live. And this has the line that stands out most in this album when James yells out, Judas lives inside this line. I'm your new God now. That's the line that stands out for me in the whole album. And whenever I think of this album, I think of that line, especially that song. Great song, great solo by Kirk. Suicide and Redemption. It's an okay track. The first 5 minutes of it are great. I'm not gonna lie. It's an instrumental. It's not up there with Orion. I think Orion was their best instrumental, followed by and Call of Cthulhu, Anesthesia, and then To Live a Cigar. I'm not a fan. I like them. But Suicide and Redemption gets repetitive. It's nearly 10 minutes. It's 9 minutes and 58 seconds. Well, it starts out and you hear it and it's like all great, catchy riff. It goes to the interlude and the solo, and those are amazing. It changes. Then it goes back to the save, and then after about minute 7, you're like, okay, I had enough of this. Can't change now, but it won't. It just stays the same. So the first 5 minutes of it are amazing. Then it gets too repetitive. My Apocalypse. You're hearing it now. My Apocalypse is great. Fast. Even though the fast, you've had that little break in there of Kirk's solo guitar. The solo is amazing. James' riffs are great. I think James has the best vocal performance in this song. Because what happened was that I'm not a fan of James' vocals now. I am of his 80s, and a lot of new fans who picked up their 80s stuff first, never picked up the 90s, except for the Black Album, and then go directly into this, are gonna be like, what's wrong? Because James' vocals have changed, but I'm thinking for the worst. But in My Apocalypse, he does a great job, so props to that. And my opinion is that the whole album deserves an 8.5 out of 10. And the reason I take 1.5 is because The Unforgiven 3 was such a misplaced song. It was such a bad song. They should have replaced it with another song or left the album shorter. I'm taking a whole point for that. And the 0.5 is because you have to get used to James' vocals. Easy as that. And a lot of people are not. James' vocals are not as good as they were back in the 80s. And it's average now. Especially in The Unforgiven 3, they're just awful. And yeah, so I'm giving it an 8.5 out of 10. And hope you enjoyed this review. Subscribe, please. Thanks.